Hello, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill, and got a lot of stuff I would like to cover today. Yesterday, I had my neurology appointment, and in fact, I want to share this to, let's see, there's, there's a huge amount I need to share with you guys, and I'm going to share it everywhere because I need you guys to know that my general practitioner had it in my notes that I was not relapsing remitting, that I was relapsing progressive. And that's just not accurate. Actually, it scared the heck out of me. So yesterday, I asked that neurologist. He's world renowned. He's really good. And I asked him, "What's my diagnosis? Because I'm getting progressively worse. What's my diagnosis?" He said, "You are relapsing remitting." And so he's not even treating the the secondary progressive portion of the old damage. He's treating me like, "Good morning, Dee Dee." He's treating me like I have relapsing remitting, which is huge. It is huge. And the reason why, let me just see here. All right. All right, I'm just gonna, here we go. Okay, and the reason why it's important to know is that so many times we sit there and we think, "Oh my gosh, I thought this new diagnosis of me being relapsing progressive was good news. That means I didn't have to work. I didn't have to." It's like, what's the point of doing squats? Because you're gonna lose it anyway. You're gonna lose. And rolling. Gosh, I fell, and this is starting to heal, but I can't lean on that elbow because I fell, right? Because we all fall when we have advanced MS. But guess what I learned yesterday at this neurologist appointment? That I didn't have progressive. I've got MS, relapsing remitting, and he told me. Now I've had it for 38 years. And I said, "What's my prognosis?" And he said, "You know what? Your prognosis, each of our prognosis, it deals with the window of the last 10 years we've gone through. So if you've had an active disease for the last 10 years, it's that damage that you have got." Hi, Desmond. It's so good that you're here. So, but this is good. This is good. So now, no matter who you are, hi, Warren. Hi, Rob. So no matter who you are, if you can look at the last 10 years, remember, remember, I had a catastrophic attack because uh, Johns Hopkins, my world-renowned neurologist, that I should name drop, but world-renowned. She decided she was going to take me off Gilenia. Hi, Maureen. She's going to take me off of Gilenia and wait until my lymphocytes came back up so that I can do rituximab or Ocrevus. I had to do that. Rituximab is what I wanted. Um, the thing is that 6 months of washout time, she kept looking at me, blood work done. I had an attack that 3 lesions was going on my cervical spine, 3 in my brain, 1 on my spine. And what that says is that during that attack, I had 7 days, 7 grams of steroid, rituximab. I went to a hematology doctor. Uh, He's a hematology oncologist that is good at looking at the blood, and he assured my neurologist I'd be fine. I wouldn't catch my death being on the rituximab. So we did all that. All right, freeze. All right, we dealt with that. But guess what? That happened within the 10 years, like last 10 years. At some point, I was tied up with a seat belt because I couldn't sit up. Guess what? I'm dizzier because it's the old damage that happened within the 10 years. What we have to do, and I was told it's imperative, it's imperative that we get in an exercise program. There, I said it, but it's not swimming. You know, that it's not swimming like I love to do, like Diane loves to do. We have to do weightlifting exercises. We have to do arm curls, arm raises, back and chest, and we have to do that. And squats, we have to do that. All right, and here's how we can do it because it's being way too exhausted to want to do that, right? We can't. But the neurologist looked at me and he said, use it or lose it. Everybody has to go to the gym. But if you have MS, your life depends on it. You have to make the most of your ability to function. And you know, if you notice, if you fall and it's hard to get up because your legs won't hold you, uh, that means you have to practice getting on the floor and standing up. If you can do this for 15-minute blocks, so 1 hour a day, we're now in training to be an athlete. 1 hour a day, but we're not doing it 1 hour a day. We're doing 15-minute blocks at a time. Can you do 15 minutes? All right, do 15 minutes, right? Yeah, either that or you do 10, let's see, you do 10 minutes, right? You do 10. You got to do squats. You've got to do push-ups. You have to get up and stand up. So what I propose we do is get a little notebook, or a little notebook. Get a little notebook, and on one page, my first 15 minutes will be I'm putting down, I've got to do back and biceps. So I'm going to go to the gym and I don't want to, but you know, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. When you've had MS a long time, guess what? You have no choice but to be an athlete. Use it or lose it. So you're going in the gym with your walker, with your cane, and you're about to lift. I have a bad back without doing back exercises, rows and back extensions. My back hurts, and it's been hurting more lately. Why? Because I have not been going to the gym to lift weights. So I want to make it very clear when you have MS, you are prematurely aging. You're like a 80-year-old. You have no choice but to exercise. You have no choice. You've got and all right. So you've got your own notebook. 15 minutes. You divide it into back and biceps for 15 minutes, chest and triceps for another 15 minutes, legs and shoulders. Actually, you can do legs and biceps at the same time, and then finally you've got to do that, and then push ups. to the point where you put down the exercises you're going to do, balancing exercises, push-ups on the desk. We have to do that. We have to do that. So if you're watching this and you have MS, shoot, Phil. Hi, Phil. You know what? Everybody needs to do this. I go into the gym and I've got friends who are 92 and they're 92. I've got two friends who are 92 at the gym, and I talk to them, and they can see that I am struggling with the same things they're struggling with, right? Once you've had MS a while and you start talking to people, you realize you the seniors, you're like, you can talk ditropan, detrol, you can talk bladder medication. You, we need to put ourselves first, and the way we do that is by doing 15-minute segments. And Bill, you can do this. Everybody, people without MS, 15 minutes. What am I going to do for 15 minutes? If you have free weights in your house, or you can get to the gym, if you can do hack squats and sumo squats, uh, create a 15-minute exercise and do it in blocks of 15 minutes. Yeah, that's what. The other thing I want to talk about is medical marijuana. Medical marijuana, because I was being treated at a pain clinic, and you guys have just pushed. A lot of you have said you've got to try this medical marijuana, and I am so anti high. I didn't want to be taking the pain medications at the pain clinic because they want me to be as high as a kite. I don't want to be as high as a kite. So, and they make you pay in a cup to prove that you're not getting high as a kite. Well, I tried various uh, uh, CBD oils, right? I've tried various vapes, various flowers. I've tried it all. See that? That is terpenoids, pure terpenoids. Uh, so I am fully capable of telling you what I have bought, what works, and what doesn't work. Real quick, Sarah's asking about Lemtrada. I know I've been to conferences about Lemtrada. Lemtrada is not as effective as monoclonal antibodies. There is, if you're an MS Frontiers on Facebook, there's chats. I can put you through the chat. There's people that swear by Lemtrada because their claim to fame when I went is when I went and I saw them talk about the pharmaceutical company is that once you're on it, it has some side effects, but you're on it, it has a chance of putting you into taking away the MS, putting you in permanent remission. I, again, I don't know. I don't know. I used to follow this stuff more closely. And to be honest, when you've had it for 38 years and you've been on every medication possible, hi Amber. Uh, when you've been on all these medications, it you realize that that is just one level of preventing disability in the future, right? You got to take disease modifying medications, right? And that will reduce. Remember, in 1993, Karen, there was a number of us who was on the beta seron, this first medication that came out. I was in the lottery for beta seron. And that only had a 30% chance of keeping you from getting disabled, of preventing attacks. That means that you took it. It just, the pain, the flu-like symptoms it caused was awful. You took it, and you still had a 70% chance of with a shot every other day, and you still had a 70% chance of having an attack. Well, they from 93, then they did the Copaxone, it was called Copla, I was in that study program. Havonex came out, Navantran came out. It just, I know all these medications, but, and I was in a lot of the Tisabri, I was in a lot of the study programs. But I got to tell you something. Now, looking back, studying medications so closely, going to conferences, uh, just looking at it medically, I just have to tell you that we people with MS take our disease modifying medications a little too serious. Serious. It's like we have to have a response or a reaction to taking a disease modifying medication very much like brushing our teeth. It can't, it can't be more than that. There's people who are anti-pharmaceutical, and I understand because there's some scary stuff going on with the pharmaceutical industry. Uh, so I'm saying if there is a way to get on a medication, the best medications out there with the highest a degree of keeping you from getting 70% now is the monoclonal antibodies, the rituximab, the Ocrevus. Rituximab is now generic, so you can get that. So once a year, get your infusion, or once a month, get to have. It takes something to prevent you from getting worse, right? New damage. But what your medication will not make you feel better. That was a mistake that uh, we all make, right? You show up, you get your infusion, and you want to feel better. You come home and you're like, I'm feeling better. There's only one medication that has a chance of making you up to 20% feeling better, and that's Tisabri. And I love being on Tisabri, but Tisabri has its challenges. There is 1 in 1,000 chance, and that is if you're not JCB positive, JC. If you're not that, there's a chance that you get a PML. Lemtrada is also PML is a brain disease that see it prevents December prevents this white blood cell from attacking our myelin, but in holding that white blood cell out, now we are exposing our brain to getting this infection. Now there are certain things that increase your odds, but if the odds on general are 1 in 1,000, the same odds of you being burned in a house fire, dying in a house fire, not being in a house fire, of dying in a house fire. 1 in 1,000. How many people do you know died in a house fire? I don't know anybody. Pets, maybe. I know of a couple house fires, and there was a bird that had smoke inhalation. But again, so look at this. Get on something that will prevent future attacks. Uh, if you have, I have an aggressive disease, I have such an aggressive disease, and it's so good that my neurologist said, you know what? You don't have progressive primary, but we're not even treating your primary or your secondary progressive. I'm just worried about your relapsing remitting, and I see your white blood cells coming up, and that's bad. And I'm going to prevent this window of 10 years from causing a problem in the future, right? So with that all off the board, no longer do I have to worry about I'm doing what about having an attack. I'm doing what I should be doing. I know the difference between a phantom attack and a real attack. A phantom attack is something that you wake up with a UTI, you have a fever, you're hot, you're in the jacuzzi, you take a hot shower. Phantom attack is your legs aren't working. Now you can't see. Now you're incontinent. Now all this old damage you once had is it's phantom wise because everything your electrical system has been heated up or has this hi Sylvie has this it's now heated up and you feel like you're having an attack even though it's the same symptoms. There's no new symptoms. That's how you know you're having a real attack if you have a new symptom you've never had before. All right, this has nothing to do. This is the element that you have to be aggressive to treat that. Uh, uh, and I'm thinking. All right, if you're aggressive and you treat that. Uh, uh, with Cymedrol, with steroids, you stop the attack. It actually doesn't have the Cymedrol, the reduce it. Cymedrol is nothing more than an medication that you take that reduces the swelling inside your body, right? That's when a cold shower won't work, right? When your phantom attack, you can make phantom attacks go away. You can't make real attacks go away. So you get the Cymedrol, and guess what? The Cymedrol may make you feel. Hi, Diana. May make you feel better. You can walk and but it doesn't help you with return damage in the future. What will work? So once you have that attack, right, and I don't want to scare anybody, but once you had that, the hole that was that the CD19 put on your myelin sheath, you've got a hole there that the chemical ice, the Cymedrol has shrunken. So you didn't feel the damage, right? You started to feel the damage, they shut it down. Well, guess what happened? 10 years down the line, all of a sudden you feel what you should have felt when you had that high Tiffany, when you've had that you had that attack. So what happens? It's good for us to talk to our neurologist getting on a disease modifying medication. All right, that's one third. One third, actually, I'm going to say half, 50%. 50% of our future, everybody with MS future is being an athlete, is getting into the gym, is maybe if you're too tired to get to the gym, doing push-ups on, you've got to do this. And Diana, I was at the neurologist yesterday and I had some hard questions for him. I was like, oh, what's my prognosis? And he looked at me, he says, Dulci, is awesome as it is that you enjoy swimming a half a mile. No. You people with MS need to be in the gym or you need free weights. You need to do a YouTube video. You need strength in your arms. You have to be able to push yourself up, turn in bed. You have to be able to lift. Tell me something. Tell me something. How many people get in a car, grab their leg, and have to lift their leg to bring it into the car? How many people? And how many people who don't go to the gym find that their leg is getting heavier? And I'm telling you what, I've lost weight. I've lost even more weight. That left leg, I can't lift it. Is it because the left leg is getting heavier, or is it because my arms are getting weaker? Right? I need to push strength in my arms so I can lift those legs. I can turn over in bed. It is how can we do that? Or how when you're waking up and you're like, I don't want to do today. There's medical marijuana strains that will help. There's and I did the research and they work different on different people. So I wanted to be able to do a spreadsheet that talks about a spreadsheet. Hi, Linda. A spreadsheet that because I like making, I like to hunt. So a symptom. I want energy, right? Energy. So if you put down what you want to feel, it'll pop up with the right, like a select the right strain. It didn't work because when you deal with a bud master, you go down, you get your medical marijuana license, and they recommend stuff. All right. First thing, it was because I said very clearly, I do not want to get high. I don't want to get high. So they gave me everything Sadvia. Let's see here, Shark Shock. Let me see. Northern Light. Oh, wait, maybe I have a. All right. Northern Lights is, I have it in vape and I tried it in a joint. Northern Lights is a strain for people to start, uh, uh, to start feeling, is a strain for people with MS to go to sleep, not to feel spastic. It's called Northern Light. It's all available at all these different dispensaries. Makes you sleepy, gives you a little bit dry mouth. I don't like that. Uh, so it's a good thing to have. Northern Lights, but for MS, papaya. Papaya is a strain that I really, really like. The ones that I really like papaya, and there's two that is fantastic for nighttime. It's called Bubba Kush, and there's Skywalker for MS, right? They're at night. They're just at night. All right. I've tried Cantaloupe Haze, Mimosa, and Rhythm. Let's see. But what else works is blue cheesecake. No, blue cheese. Blue cheese. And that's in the evening when you're just done. You've done everything. Um, in the morning, I tried this new strain that I really like. It's called, let's see here. It's called Green Crack. It's a CBD oil. And let's see, it is, it doesn't tell you. It's alert. It's supposed to make you alert, euphoric, and decreased appetite. Decreased appetite. Okay. All All right. So, for the daytime, this is what I am trying now because I'll tell you what, my favorite, my daytime is the green crack. It doesn't make you sleepy, it motivates you, clears your head, and gives you a little bit of dry mouth. I like that. There is, yeah, that and Bubba Kush at night. Bubba Kush or Skywalker at night. Which I like. I like. So right now I've got, in fact, you see, my neurologist is trying to push through getting generic rituximab covered because I got a phone call that said rituximab's not covered by your insurance. They said, no, I told you that last April. I said, they already said they will not be covering it unless the generic rituximab doesn't work. And she says, I asked about that, and they said they won't be covering it. And I got a feeling she's calling back to say she did call back and they will cover it. They're going to try generic. It's crazy. And Diana, you know what? There's many of us who need physical therapy to a couple of times a week, and there's many of us who just need earplugs and a phone, right? With 15 minutes of exercises. I like to put Carolyn Gibbons. I think Carolyn Gibbons. She's on YouTube, and she has something where it's a beat. Just a beat, and it's exercises, and I like that. I like that. So you can put that on, and It's like being with a buddy. I like that. Save all of your physical therapy, uh, and I'm telling you what, Diana, if you go last Tuesday, I MS. It was MSUK, designing your own. All right, here we go. It's mstrust.org dot uk/life dash ms. If you can just go into that, in fact, what I will do is and build. All right, here we go. I'm gonna. All right, let me pin. Okay, I pinned the message there. So if you're on YouTube, if you're in this chat, you'll see a link. You can click that link and design your own workout with balance, with strength. Again, I have a bad back. I've always had a bad back, right? As long when I don't exercise, when I don't do rows, when I don't do back, when I don't use those muscles in my back as much. Um, Chris, you're here. What's the result on your puppy? Did you come in? Carolyn Gibbons. If you go, Diana, to my YouTube channel, click exercises. I have a click my playlist MS exercises. Uh, oh, she only got fourth. Oh my gosh, she got fourth. You know, I how close was she to getting? Nah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Fourth, uh, you know what? She's number one in our book, right, Chris? Anyway, so for nighttime, if you have MS, for the spasticity, restless leg syndrome, that kind, there's Bubba Kush and there's Skywalker. It'll help you go to sleep. It'll put you in a good mood. And during the day, green crack. Green crack is the name of, let me see, that's Bubba Kush. Here's green crack. It's I bought it yesterday and I was so excited. Dennis, Dennis, I'm talking. This is so huge because I went to the neurologist yesterday thinking that he was going to tell me to get my stuff in order. Get your affairs in order. He didn't say that. He says, get yourself in the gym, not to swim, not to swim. And Diana, when this summer swimming, if we can think of swimming as just relaxing, is because after a while doing the crawl a half a mile is like going for a leisurely walk to normal people. Doesn't bother us, but it doesn't. Even my water therapy doing exercises and PT in the pool, I don't like it. It doesn't force strength into those legs, into that back, into, you know, if you have body pain and you have MS, chances are, yeah, it's because you're weak and you're worthless. You're weak and it's got to stop. Dennis, we've got to get in the gym to 15 minutes design. So for 1 hour every day, we have to create a plan, a 15-minute blocks. You know how fast that goes? Hi, Denise. You know how fast those 15 minutes go? You got to do it. So take your medication that prevents. If you have an active disease, you don't have an active disease, get in the gym. There's people who look at me and they say, God, I used to look like you. I'm 5'6" and 110 pounds. And I originally was 140 and 5'6", and I was confined to a wheelchair, and this is in Seattle when I lived there. And you know what I did? I refused to be in the wheelchair. So I would get out, hold the wheelchair, and I would walk uh, um, up until I did 3 miles every day. And I started losing weight. But I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was eating more often. I changed a lot of stuff. Lots went down to 115, and let me tell you, what I discovered in losing weight is that it was easier to balance. It's easier to balance a tinier body than it. So that it just. All right, and Chris is saying that is good. And Chris is saying Tisabri is keeping her stable. Tisabri is a great medication. Great medication. You know, Dennis, if I'm such a good motivator, then you will tell me on Tuesday if we've succeeded because I have to. And I'm not telling you stuff that I I have to do. And Diana says she walks with ankle weights and arm weights in the swimming pool, and that's good, because I don't have. In fact, what is the what? Uh, all right. What is the brand of water weights? Heavy. Again, I don't know. It's good for us to lift weights. To lift weights. That is something we have to do. Uh, we have to do lunges. So 15 minutes. All right, Dennis. If you can walk, if you can get your scooter or your chair into the kitchen, say, and then just do push-ups with your shoulders back. Do push-ups on the counter. We can start that. Put your back up against the wall and lean against the wall until your knees bend. So your knees are like this, and you're leaning against the wall. I'm sorry, my neighbor got a killer dog, Doberman Pinscher. I'm not afraid of dogs, but I'll tell you what, the reason why is that I'm a bit of a dog whisperer, so you don't do yourself a favor. If you ever walk close to a vicious dog, don't look at the dog. Make eye contact with the owner, and you walk right up and ignore the dog, even if the dog is getting growling or something. Just keep talking to the owner. You know why? That dog uh, thinks that owner is God. He has no respect for me. He has no respect for me. But that dog sees me talking to his God, and that dog's like, oh, I don't know who this is, but my owner says he's in the pack. So I'm not. Plus, if you talk to him while the dog is when the dog is yapping at you, trying to eat you, and you're talking to the owner is so angry at the dog for being a jerk. So I'm watching this Doberman Pinscher they got at the beginning of the year, the beginning of winter. So he's 7 months old, and yes, he's a killer dog. But I don't have problems with killer dogs. I walk up to the owner because I need that killer dog to think I am in the pack. I'm not a threat. Yeah, isn't that true, Dennis? Everyone says they have the best dog in the world, and what I always have to laugh at. Now I have trained self-trained 2 service dogs for my own, and I don't bring them out to public places, but I train ranger to carry picnic basket to pick up what I drop. I drop everything. So and I walk up to somebody with a dog, and the dog's growling, and I'm looking at the owner. You never walk up and acknowledge a dog. Never. Never look at the dog because you want to own that dog, right? You want that dog to respect you. So you walk up and you only look at the owner. Don't look at the dog. The dog will smell you, and that's okay, right? But with this vicious dog, I had my hands up high because I did not want to get bit, right? And the dog's smelling me, barking, and the owner's beating him. And hi, Minato, boy, it's been a while since I've seen you. So it's amazing, Dennis, because these people, these killer dogs, they'll say, oh, my dog doesn't bite. My dog, you're like, well, if I put my hands down, I'd show you how your dog bites. Because one of the worst things that people do with dogs is they walk up to a vicious dog, and what do? They shove their fist in the dog's nose, right? It's like, smell me, like me, I want to pet you. No, that's not how dogs work. Especially if a dog thinks he owns you, don't do not acknowledge any dog. Walk up to the owner, let the dog smell you, get to know you. Oh, but only look at the owner. Only look at the owner. The sweeter the dog, if it's a lab and all, the sweeter. If their tail starts wagging and they look up and you know a dopey sweet, you know dopey sweet dogs, right? Yeah, but don't. If it's a Doberman Pinscher, Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Chow Wolf hybrid, uh, uh, they're there. You know what to look for. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. I used to have three cats, but now I've got a golden retriever and I've got a let's see, a Cavapoo Schnauzer, right? That's funny. That is funny. All right, so what cannabis strains do you guys like? The one I like the best at night is papaya, Bubba Kush, and Skywalker. They're the three. And then Northern Lights is another. Well, that is Chris. Chris, it's hi, sissy. Yeah, the Cavapoo B. Schnauzer is Winston. He's supposed to be a Cavapoo, but yeah, I paid a premium price for my mutt, and don't you laugh at me. It's funny, funny. There's blue cheese. Uh, um, so what do you like? Or the two topics I'm talking about is what I learned that everybody with MS, we are like stroke victims. Our prognosis has everything to do with what went on in the 10-year window from the very day you're sitting. So now, from this day, 10 years ago, what happened? What attacks did I have? What were my symptoms? And what do I have to strengthen myself so I'm not a victim of these symptoms coming back, right? It's like, because when they do come back and I'm more dizzy because of this attack I had, that I've shown you MRI where my myelin is like worn off of my cervical spine. What happened? Well, I better do some balancing exercises, right? Balancing exercise, going cheek to cheek, closing your eyes and leaning and putting your arms up, closing your eyes, and just various 15-minute blocks. Anybody can do that. So set your alarm for 15 minutes, 4 times a day, and two muscle groups for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. You gotta do it. You got to do it. And there's those of us that it's harder to get up and down. In fact, it keeps getting harder and harder as your MS progresses. Is it getting harder or are we getting weaker? Is it the natural progression of life? Because everybody gets weaker as they age. We just have a microscope on us. In fact, I was at a birthday party and my sweet sister-in-law is 2 years, I think 2 or 3 years younger than me. She said, I said, wait till you get to my age. She said, well, I am your age. I'm only 4 years or 3 years. Yeah, it's the same age. I'm thinking, she got offended. And I got to thinking, no, it's not a biological age that, right, you and I both are struggling with this disease prematurely ages us. It makes us feel, it's like when she says, look, I just turned 50, and you're like, well, I'm pushing 54. And I know you guys are laughing at me because you 60 club there, but I also know there's a couple of you 20 club, 20, and I got to tell you that you sit there and you look at people who can easily walk. I mean, why watching Olympics when you can go to the bottom of the library, sit there and watch people walk up and down the stairs without holding on to the handles? Without that's huge. That's huge. That is huge. So we have to. It has nothing to do with us getting weaker. It's more of a biological fact that a body that does not exercise, doesn't do squat, doesn't try to get up, won't get up. Just because we have MS, we think we're special. How many people do you know over 80 that like to get on the ground and get back up? Guess what? Guess what? We have to get on the ground and get back up. 15 minutes a day. Oh, you don't want to do it. But if you do it, then I'll tell you, I went into, I have a sewing room. It's a separate room and it has a lot of my clothes. Well, it has the stuff I put away, which is the long sleeve shirt that was in a milk jug. So I brought the milk jug out, lost my balance and fell on a chair. Let me tell you, so I'm leaning over the chair with the milk carton, put the milk carton down, and I'm laying across that. I'm thinking, how am I going to stand up? But let me tell you something. The strength that I'm used to having wasn't there. My core strength, my leg strength, so it couldn't catch me with muscle memory when my balance failed. So I've got to make this muscle memory happen, and I'm going to do it with you guys. I want everybody, 15 minutes a day. If you can only do 15 minutes, do 5 minutes 3 times a day. Pick your poison. You need your arm exercise, skull crushers, bicep curls. You need that to be able to lift yourself. Push ups, right? For your chest. Get some free weights. You get to do some bands. There's so much, but you have to. Oh, then that's true. Chris, you're saying, yeah. You know what? Uh, that's true. And I have Ranger, and he's my service dog. And how can he help me when I'm in a situation where I'm leaning over and I'm not strong enough, and I'm kind of falling, and I'm about to call for my husband to help get me up? Where does the dog come in? The fact is that if I were to analyze it, I should have had Ranger come in with his picnic basket to take all my long sleeve shirts and hi Paul, and put it in his picnic basket. Then I wouldn't have been all cattywampus, and he could have carried that in. It just So yeah, when you know, when I fall, it's because of a weakness that has not been exploited. So, you know what? The best exercise to do is to start with for 15 minutes is the one you don't want to do. All right, let's get on the floor and get back up. I don't want to do it. I got to do it. You know what, Diana? And Diana is saying it's frightening what she can't do. And it's true. It's true. So it's like the Diana. It's like the Olympics. The more you can't do, the more you just smile. People. I used to walk with the girls, all the neighbors around with the dogs around the neighborhood, but I can't keep up, and they haven't avoided me with my scooter, and that's fine, right? Uh, uh, so when you realize, Diana, that it's scary, the things you can't do, that has to tell us that we've got to make things better. We've got to make the things that we do better. Uh, the good thing is that you can see your weakness when you recognize you can't do something, right? Yeah, Diana, I am. The pool is a great equalizer for me too. It is because when I swim, I can swim with healthy people. And let me tell you something. I'm fat. I it doesn't hurt. It is like going for a leisurely walk. So do me a favor, or if you have medical marijuana, try green crack. All right. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a Superman. All right. Try green crack. Green crack is a daytime strain. It motivates you, puts you in a good mood. It's good for depression. Let's see, euphoric, and there's no high Vanessa, no munchies, no munchies. But I really like this. All right. The vape and then the Bubba Kush at night. The only problem with the Northern Lights vape that I do at night occasionally is that it can give you a headache. It can give you a headache. Whereas the Bubba Kush doesn't give you a headache. Neither does Skywalker. Skywalker doesn't give you a headache, and neither does papaya. Papaya nice, mellow. There is uh, cherry punch that is and then let me see. I've got most. I've got so many strains, and I got Durban poison. I dropped it and I cracked the resin. Yeah. It's always something. It's always something. But thank you, Chris. Thank you for the time check. Uh, all right. So, what I want us all to do, and don't uh, that Antolia, is that you, Tina? Is it you, Tina? Uh, if it is, I love you. That is my second mom. I love her. I love her. I love her. And I love you all. It's time to sign off. Hi, David. Uh, I probably am going. I'm not gonna over promise and under deliver. Again, Northern Lights. All right, I'll tell you what to stay. And you can always email me what works. No, you can get flour. You can get rolls. I like the vape because like I don't like smoking a bowl. I just don't like it. Oh, and totally, you know what? That is, tincture is good, dewdrops are good. But anyway, what I'd like you guys to do is that, yeah, I'll tell you what, Antolia, are you Greek? Because I'll tell you what, if everybody needs a second mother that has to be Greek. So you can be, Antonia, if you want, you can be my third mama. But then again, Jane might have a say, right? Jane's all of our mamas. Anyway, I love you all. Come up with a plan. All right, we're going to come up with a exercise plan because guess what? Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. And it's not just for seniors. When they come up to me and they say, "You inspire me," you inspire me. Don't laugh at them. When people say you inspire them, they like, "You inspire me, use it or lose it. We're all here under doctor's orders." And you can write your gym membership off. Right? When use it or lose it is that important. It's over your taxes if you're in America. Anyway, so use it or lose it. Um, you can get a doctor prescription. You gotta do it. So 15 minutes, all right. You can do anything for 15 minutes. So try 4 different time slots. I know that I'm going to finish this, go to the gym, and try to do some exercises, and then I will for 4 put on Carol Gibbons, and just 15 minutes, 4 15-minute exercises, and it'll end up being a lot more than that. I know, probably. Because if I'm there, might as well do it. Love you all right? And I insist, God to do it. Love you. And Heavenly Father, I just ask that you empower everybody here with the knowledge they may have learned. Help them get the right strain of medical marijuana if they need that to make the most of their bodies, Lord. Help them to get motivated to exercise and Lord, work through them. Allow their light to burn strong so they can inspire people without MS, and they can be a comfort having MS and inspiring the rest of us. If we all know we're working hard to do it together, like James 4:14, if we're part of the mist that's here today and gone tomorrow, Lord, help us to recognize that we are working together to just to be your light. Allow our light to shine bright for you and help us maximize our efforts. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Uh, Oh, it's all right. Kosher and Antolio talks about another strain called kosher. Uh, I'm gonna research that right now. Love y'all. Bye.